Hello, hello, how are you? Good afternoon. What's going on? Peace, salutations, all that. I am Jason Mass. Those who really know me closer than that, I'm Jason Atkins. Lifelong music fan. Um, been into various forms of music my entire life, starting all the way back to my father's record collection, which very eclectic ear. That's where I get it from. My father, rest in peace, was a had a very eclectic ear. He was into John Coltrane. He was into Led Zeppelin. He was into Chet Atkins. He was into um, Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic, Jimi Hendrix, The Grateful Dead, The Doors. Um, my dad was had a very very wide palette of different Elton John, the Beatles, Stones. He was into all types of stuff, and like I said, that's kind of where it comes from for me. And this video is just, you know, giving you a rough introduction of who I am and what it is I'm about in terms of what my relationship to music is. Um, it I was from a little kid into music because of dad, but by the time I got to be about 8 years old or so, that's when MTV hit. This would have been about 81 or so. And the first act that I became obsessed with that wasn't something my father was into was Duran Duran. So that would have been about 82. The song was Hungry Like the Wolf, and that started me on my path of all the stuff that would come after that. That one band, that one track, that was my gateway into being a music obsessive from that point forward. Um, so the things that I'm into range from it's all over the place, literally. Would have started with new wave, then that evolved into what they called college rock, post punk, alternative, indie pop, indie rock, you know, industrial, various forms of punk. And then, then right after all those things kind of happened, I got in, was way into hip hop, into house music, into techno, into the IDM movement. It just goes on and on and on and on. And I'm been really getting into this thing lately of getting back into more mainstream stuff from previous eras that I kind of might have overlooked or didn't really give a fair ear to. So, been listening to a lot of old chart music, from dating from the 50s all the way to maybe the middle 90s or so, and been, you know, finding a lot of cool stuff. And what this channel intends to do is I'm gonna do like a lot of kind of critiques and reviews on this channel of different albums and releases and things like that. On my Facebook, Jason Mass Playing Music page, it'll be different playlists and mixes, stuff like that. And like I said, this is just to give you an idea about who I am and what my relationship is to music, what my credentials are, if so to speak. So, grew up, like I said, obsessed with music, very obsessed with it. Started, I think I wrote my first pop song. I was 12 years old. Wrote my first rhyme, first hip hop joint when I was about 14. Um, I hit a stage for the first time about I was 16 or so, I think, and worked as an artist. Was once signed as an artist to a little indie label. Had a little indie deal at one time. I put out a couple of records, one on the indie label and one self-released album. Beat maker, or that's something I used to really pursue kind of heavily. I was as an MC. Worked as a music journalist from about 19. I started doing music critiques, in high school. Like I think was 1990 or so when I wrote my first reviews. That would have been a review of Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted, Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet, and the first X-Clan album. Those are my first three music reviews. And I started doing it professionally about 1996, from 1996 to 2003. I worked as a music journalist. I had articles published in a few different publications, things like that. The only reason why I stopped was because of the lack of pay. Imagine that. And since then, I was more concentrating on making my own music. But something has kind of happened in me where I just want to get back to being an appreciator of and fan of this music and kind of putting people onto it, because that's something I was always doing through the whole picture, putting people on to different music. And that's what this channel is also going to be for, and what the channel or the page on Facebook, Jason Mass Playing Music, it's going to be, all about just putting people on to different types of music that they may have missed, or whatever the case may be. I'm a sound obsessive, and I really want to go ahead and start putting some of my opinions out in the universe. And it's a cool thing when people, listen to your opinion and value your opinion about sound. I don't take that lightly. I take that as something, I'm humbled by that, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm taking the advice of my wife, Janoy, and I'm taking the advice of my friends, Child MC and Jamma One, those guys I used to be in a crew with back in the day. As far as going ahead and starting a music channel, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and go ahead and push forward with it. And so I'll go ahead and shout them out. And peep this Unrest t-shirt that my wife got me. Unrest, great band. If you don't know, I got hip to them when they dropped their the Perfect Teeth album from 1993. Highly recommended. To me, the second half of the Unrest album, Perfect Teeth, is perfection. They couldn't have done anything better, so that's what this t-shirt is. I'm a big fan of Unrest. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off into this. Hope you guys come along for the ride. This is just an introduction. We'll be reviewing some random records. Some new, some old, different genres. I kind of don't believe in genres. I only believe in two kinds of music, good and bad, and that's it. And this channel, as well as my other page on Facebook, will show and prove that. And I am just in fanboy mode. That's really all this is, just my opinions about sound. And I appreciate anybody who checks for anything I ever got to say about any of this stuff. That's it. All right. Stay tuned. Hope all stays well with you. Peace.